Hi everyone, it's Jen. Today I wanted to share with you some flowers that I've been making to go with a mini album. And the mini album I'm making is with the Prima Nature's Garden collection, and I just started to cover some chipboard pieces and wanted to make some flowers, and I don't know that I'll use them all on this project, but I wanted to have a variety to pick from. So I'll share them with you quick, and then I'll go over how I made them briefly. So let me start with the burlap flowers. I purchased some burlap at Walmart, which was extremely inexpensive in the fabric department. I believe they had it in cream, in tan, and in a sage green color. And so, for example, these three flowers, I cut out 5-petal flowers just freehand, and I cut into the center of the flower from one of the petals, cut in, and then hot glued it and wrapped it around and layered it over the 4th petal. So they ended up being 4-petal flowers. You can see right here where I cut it with a little peak in them, which gives them some dimension. And with the burlap, let me back up for a second. With the burlap, I covered the burlap with the green I covered with the Sparkle Mod Podge, and I think I used regular Mod Podge on the other ones, and I also inked them after they dried. So I'll show you what the burlap looks like before I cut it. So here is the green. You can see it's very shimmery from the Sparkle Mod Podge. And then here's a piece of the tan that I had put some Glimmer Glam over here in an antique brown color. And I forget what I put over here, but what I found is after I put the flowers together, I added even more ink, whether it be distressed ink or archival ink or a little bit of Glimmer Glam that I just sprayed on the mat and painted on there. I found the Mod Podge gives it a little bit of a white hue that I wanted to cover up, so that's why I inked those after. And these two I just put a little bit of tulle in the middle with some bead centers. And then these two are also made from burlap. This was a little bit more involved. What you do is you take a strip of burlap and you put glue on both sides and let it dry, and then you pull out all of the fibers that are running in one direction, so then you're left with strands of burlap hanging vertically. And you fold it over and then kind of twirl it around there. If anybody wants more detail on that, let me know. There is a video out there on burlap flowers that are made this way. But if anyone's interested, I can get you that information. And these centers actually are just plain metal flowers that I got in the scrapbooking section at Michael's. They were just metal embellishments, and I put a pearl in the middle. Okay, and then here's 2 more burlap flowers. These were just cut out with the Tim Holtz tattered flower die, one of the smaller flowers, and I think it's the 2 smallest sizes. And just while it was still a little bit damp, or even after the Mod Podge dries, you can kind of heat it with your heating tool to soften it up, and then just pinch and turn the leaves how you want them, and then once it dries, they pretty much stay in that shape. Okay, I think that's all the burlap ones. I made several of the lollipop flowers and a couple of the twisted ribbon flowers. So all of these lollipop flowers, I had just purchased some fabric at Joann's from the special occasion sections. It was all different kinds. There was some tulle, some satin, a little bit of taffeta. They all seem to work pretty well. This one I actually did some stamping on with the Stays On ink and put a glass bead from, that's a Stampin' Up bead, and then just I actually sewed some pearls on the inside and then just went around, maybe not on this one, but some of them I went around and added a little bit of stickles to give it a little bit more sparkle. This one is tulle and like a taffeta. And then these are, I made from it was like a raw silk ribbon that I recently purchased at Michael's. Just added some embellishments in the middle, and this is just a piece of plain satin. Added a little tiny bit of rough tulle in the center. And these little metal leaves are Tim Holtz leaves. This one is just a tiny one, and these little beads in the center are from, in the craft stores they have those sparkly bracelets that are usually like $3, and I bought a couple of those and just took them apart, and they make great little embellishments, those little beads. This one is just some tulle, and I just made a little center piece and cut out a piece of paper from the paper collection. And this one, I took 8 squares of tulle and just folded them over in like little pie piece shapes, and then ran a piece of thread through them to attach them all, and just put a brad in the center. But you can kind of form the tulle any way that you want to. This one, oh my goodness, I made this one a while ago. I believe I made this out of paper cupcake liners, and I had glimmer misted and stamped over it, and then made the lollipop cutouts, and then just put some other fabrics, and also made a little wooden tile to go in the center. This one, I really like this one. This one I made out of, it was right in the same section that I got the burlap from at Walmart. It was some canvas fabric, and so I just dyed that with 2 different colors of glimmer mist, and I also put some glimmer glam on here, which really helps stiffen it up. And then as I was drying it with my heat gun, I just kind of scrunched it up a little bit. These are a couple that I just made from the paper collection with a smaller mover and shaper Tim Holtz dies. And I just took some brads I had and popped the centers out and put some little pieces of paper in there and added stickles on top. And then I made a whole bunch of leaves. Oh, this one too, was a rolled one, and I just added some, I just actually took some thread and sewed some little embellishments on top of there, and there's a little pearl in the center. So let me move these, and then I made all of these leaves. These were super simple. All I did was freehand cut the leaves out of the burlap, and then just took some glimmer glam and painted it over the top. And that, like I said, the glimmer glam really helps stiffen it up, and it helps things to stop from fraying. And then I put a tiny bit of ink on the edge of those. This one I remember I covered with several things, but it was mostly glimmer glam. And I think underneath the glimmer glam I had put some metallic cream paint. So that's why those have a metallic sheen to them. And then I took some book paper and covered some of the Tim Holtz grunge paper, or the Ranger grunge paper. And once it dried, just cut out all of these leaves and inked the edges, and I did a couple hearts too. and put some, don't know if you can see that, the crackle paint over that. When I put the crackle paint on the paper did want to pull away from the grunge board even after it had dried, but I just took some of the Scotch quick dry glue and put it in the edges and sealed it right back down, and that worked great. And then these are just grunge board or grunge paper leaves, and I just inked them and ran them through my Cuttlebug to get some embossing on there, and then inked them a little bit more. And I think that's it. So I'm really excited to start putting this book together. And I really like the way the flowers coordinate with the paper. And I plan to also use some of the Prima flowers from the collection. Let's see if I can put a couple of these together and show you. But I'll be using some of the Prima flowers from the collection as well, some of the smaller flowers and embellishments. Let's see here. But just to give you a little bit of an idea. How they look on there. So thanks for watching, everybody. If you have any questions about any of these, just let me know. Have a great day. Bye-bye.